Yeah, it's something that's kind of evolved. In our years ago when I was an assistant, I had every scout because we didn't have the people, we didn't have the manpower. We had reel-to-reel film when I started. Then the video beta and videotapes and all that stuff, and so it's evolved over the course of time. But I knew how hard it was to do a good job with one guy, and my thing with coaches, I want them to be all-around coaches, not just be a recruiter, not just be on the court, not to get every part of phase of the coaching profession. So when they become a head coach, they've dealt with everything. I was fortunate, and I guess it was I don't know if a curse or whatever, but I kind of did everything. I did camps, I did tickets, I did anything you could do. I did it where I knew it would help us do a better job if we divided it up with the coaches, because then they could really focus on it. And then they kind of have evolved where they wanted to keep the same team, as long as they've stayed on staff, because they know the ins and outs of the team. And most coaches, they might tweak little things here every year, but they do a lot of the same stuff. And so you have a good feel, and you keep your notes, and it helps them prepare. So they take a lot of pride in it. They take it personal that it's their game, and they want to make sure they come up between them and myself. They come up with a good game plan, and and then we the other guys on staff, we want them to be involved also and watch film, because you can't watch every game. So the more eyes, more film you watch, we find, a couple days before, find out how people score against Texas A&M. Then the day before, how we're going to guard them, and depending on how much time you have, obviously. But so I try to get them as many experiences as I can to help them.
Since Dean Waite's come back, you guys' offensive numbers have gone up, but it's interesting your pace of play has actually gone down. What went into that decision to play a little bit slower, even with?
I don't think it's us. I think it's a league. To be honest, it's not like we're saying don't push it. We're not trying to jack it, I think, more than anything. But the defenses are all good in the league. I heard Jamie Dixon said the one thing about this league is everyone guards, and it may be different. Every team has a different style and how to guard, but you have to put time and preparation, and otherwise you're going to be behind. So when teams guard, they take away just what we talked about, the scout. They take away things that you do. So now you don't get that quick hitter you maybe got in non-conference. The set to get it inside right away or whatever. You're going to have to work it a little more. So I don't think we've done it. I think it's just kind of the league how it's evolved.
Last year you guys were 10th in the Big 12 in defensive rebound percentage. This year you're near the top of the entire
country.
Yeah. What can you tell me about that statistic, defensive rebounding percentage?
I'd be honest, I don't even know, but I just keep saying that. So we must be pretty good, I guess. So but the coaches told me that a couple weeks ago, and I was like, is that good or bad? I didn't know. But, there's so many analytics now. But I think it's the number of shots taken that we're allowing offensive rebounding. So one of the things, we did talk about since last spring was offensive, controlling the boards, making sure we block out, not allowing offensive rebounds. And, I think, we're older. We hopefully our habits are a little better, from the drills, from the emphasis. And then we got more people involved. And then this summer we sat in this room and had an NBA guy go up and showed us a board with the top rebounders in the league and how much money they made, and he figured it out. It's $1.5 million a rebound in the NBA if you average that. So, we told our guys, you want to have a chance, to in the league, you have to find a niche. Rebounding's a good niche. It gives you another stat that they look at you. So, we kind of combined all this stuff, hopefully, and, make sure that, we're better. We've improved. I guess that's one area we improved. The other part, I think so much there aren't as many shots because we turn people over quite a bit and we get a lot of steals. So I don't know if that helps also.
Having a team that's this dominant defensively, was that what you set out to produce and improving, or did it just sort of happen?
Oh, I think it happens. Over the course of time, we've always emphasized defense. I think it's something we've prided, and I learned from Coach Katie many years ago, and he'll tell the story. He went to Hutch JUCO and he was running gun, and he went to all the clinics, and you're gonna press and get up and down, and then he would get to the national tournament and lose, and then he got with Eddie Sutton. And Eddie, as he said, taught him how to winning basketball, how to, you have to guard. You got to have good balance, offense and defense. And I mean, you see it in the NFL. Hey, it's great to go up and down, but then when it gets down to it, you got to, you hopefully got to stop somebody to be able to win games. So we've always taken pride in it. It's something that's been part of it. I think when you have a veteran team, it's the drills, the daily drills, the habits over 4 years, 3 years, whatever it might be. It's the understanding of preparation and how important it is, knowing strengths, weaknesses, buying into the scout, putting in the time, becoming a student of the game. But we are fortunate we have some defensive stoppers and guys that really take pride. And that's not every kid in the country. And some are not capable, and some are capable and don't want to. We got guys that are capable and they want to be defensive stoppers. It starts with Barry, and then Xavier gives you that capable, versatile, guy that can guard a lot of positions. Dean is much better than people realize. And then you can bring in a Mike McGurl and Cardi, pretty good athletes that at times can be good stoppers. Cam is really smart. Doesn't maybe have some of the physical gifts, but he knows stuff. He talks stuff. He sees things. And then Mac, is really good on ball screen defense. Which in today's basketball world, it's probably 80% of your offense. So if you got a guy that's willing to get out there, understands it, sees it, and can physically capable of going out to hedge the ball screen, still get back to guard the post, still help on the driver, all those things. He does that. So it kind of all adds up to, hopefully being successful on the defensive end.
On rebounds, you're averaging 4 more rebounds this season than a year ago. You've out-rebounded 13 and 19 opponents this season. Is it that easy just to look at those numbers and say, aha, we've improved? Or what kinds of things do you look at, take into consideration when you evaluate how much you've improved on that?
Well, I think some of it is how many offensive rebounds they get and how many second chance points they get. I think that's the, when it comes down to it, that's what it comes, really. And do we get some offensive rebounds? Do we get some second chance points? And again, what the guy emphasized, hey, go make some money, go rebound. And we're trying to emphasize that. And the scout circled Dean's numbers and said, your numbers are fair to average. If you want to be, where you be, have a chance, you got to get those numbers up. And then he pointed to everyone else. It's the same with you. It could be Barry, Xavier, whatever. The more things you do. So, I think they had hopefully that motivate them a little bit and understanding that there are more things to it. Hopefully our defense is compact, because what happens when your defense isn't compact, people get in the lane, then you got to help. Now there's no block out. And that's where you get a lot of the offensive rebounds. And, so hopefully we form that wall. We keep our defense compact, keep body on body, which allows easier blockouts.
I'm not quite sure how to work. We've got so much momentum.
Well, the momentum can continue if we win it. I don't think it matters who you're playing. For me, and I've said it over and over, when they first proposed it to our coaches, we all said, this is great. We're going to get the publicity we need. Our league doesn't get. Kansas gets the notoriety, there's no doubt, but our league as a whole, I thought last year because of Trae Young, because we are so good as a league, you couldn't stop it. But we don't have the media markets so we all said yes. But then we experienced it, then we all came back and we changed this. And it's too deep in it. Our administration likes it. So they feel we get good publicity. The committee has said it's a good thing to now do you have to win? We've been fortunate to either win or tie them pretty much every year that I remember. Tom might have better stats on it, but so it's important, and it can really, for this year, can solidify our league. As we probably don't have as high a level of teams as good as last year, but with 1 through 10 we're really good, and we can solidify that Saturday. So the good thing this year, we do have a bye. Everyone's getting a bye week, which we didn't have a year ago. We had 19 windows, 19 games. This year, because of the calendar, there's 20 windows, so everyone gets a bye, because you need somewhere in there. It's nice to get a little bit of rest.
And you're saying the reason that you and the other coach wanted to change it is just because of this breaking up the conference schedule as is?
That we would like to go. It's too much a grind. We already have 18 tough games. There's no gimmies in our league. It's very unforgiving, and now we were compared to other leagues, and they were 16 or not playing everyone twice. So why are we doing this? We're already playing everyone twice. Now we're throwing in a high-level SEC game. Then we got our conference tournament. So you're talking 20 high-level games. So why are you doing that? And again, what you said, the focus, the mindset in the middle of grind out of the conference, do you have to change that mindset to go play another team?
What kind of jumps off the page at you about A&M?
They're very athletic. They're talented. It seems like they play better against higher level teams. Their Kentucky game was very close. Florida the other night, they led at half, even into the second half. Alabama, they beat on the road. So they have the ability. I think they're young, they're new. They lost a lot of people, and then the good guard got had the blood clot. So that's 14 points a game. He's kind of figuring it out. But I think they're very, very capable. They showed it in those other games that they can play, and we got to come to play. We got to be focused, and that's why. I was ready. I was hoping we'd beat Texas Tech, but in the locker room, my first thought was how important Texas A&M was for us.
There's a lot of talk about the defensive scout. On the flip side, how important is that, the offensive scout? How much is this team bought into that?
I think the last 2 years we've done a much better job, last few years, of preparing offensively also. And we didn't do that before. I think, how do you score? And that's what I like, the GAs and the other people. I'd go watch, find some games, see things before. So then yesterday I could ask them, let me see how did people score against them? Because we might have an action like that we can score that we can emphasize over the next few days. So it helps the guys, and it helps them see what pass everyone guards things differently. So against Texas Tech, if you drive in the lane, the corner's going to be open opposite. Against these guys, it might be the guy behind you. Everyone, and so you got to figure out their defensive schemes, how they do stuff. What can we get them on a back pick? What's our back pick plays? What is ball screen better? Everyone's different, so it helps, and it helps our guys become a little better students of the game.
Did you say you scripted early?
I try to script 2 or 3 plays, and if they go in and they make the shot, then it looks pretty good. But we have got off to good starts lately, which is important. But I got a little text from Coach Snyder, and he said great starts. In his mind, it has to do with preparation, and there's no doubt our guys, hopefully their mental preparation is better.
Is that something you've always done?
We've always done 1 or 2 plays, but sometimes I give them a few more I don't want to confuse them. A couple of them. It's we get too many of them in there. We're not like football where you can look at your wristband or somebody's talking to you in the headphones.
Is Coach Kennedy someone you had much of a relationship with when he was in the Big 12, or do you
Who?
Coach Kennedy?
I know him from Murray State. He years ago when I was at Southern Illinois, and then we had him up at Illinois to our clinic, and real good dude. He's done a great job. Really had good teams at Murray. And last year they were Sweet 16, so he must be a pretty good coach, good person.
From the outside looking in, it seems like everything's been fine with Dean and Cam injury-wise, but have they had much soreness or anything?
It's been pretty good so far. We just got to be careful. Like they had a day off yesterday. Today we'll do a little bit, not hopefully keep them out of some drills. Dean keeps saying he's fine, which is, it's great. I think Cam after games is a little bit sore, but he seems to recover pretty quickly.
You mentioned the strength of the league earlier. Right now at the top, it's pretty congested.
Yeah.
I mean, is it just like,
Or even at the bottom, the whole middle's everything's congested.
is it just kind of like, oh, that's the Big 12, or is it just kind of weird to see it that way?
Yeah, and I mean, even last year it was, Kansas made. You got to give them credit. They made the push at the end, won the games, won the league. Obviously Texas Tech had some injuries and lost 3 in a row in that one stretch without Evans, so it put them in a tough thing. And Kansas finds ways to win the close games. They did West Virginia last year, some of those games. So our game, but it's good. I've said I don't think the top are the elite teams we had last year, but they're good teams, and we have great balance 1 through 10. You saw it last night. I mean, Oklahoma State's up 19 points against Oklahoma. So
You've had good duos, great duos in your career, Coach. And I was curious when you look at Barry and Dean and their ability to score the ball. How good are they?
You can just look at the stats. I mean, they're going to be 2 of the best in the history of school, and I think the good thing is they've really developed. When Dean was not the most aggressive as a freshman, Barry was, but then he just wore down. He thought this was going to be easy, and then it wasn't. I still remember his last game, the Texas Tech game at Texas Tech. And I just kept pleading with him, come on, Barry, I need something. Come on, Tampa. And he gets mad when I call him Tampa because he says he's St. Pete. He's from the hood. But the referee was Rick from Florida, and he kept laughing at me. And he goes, what? I said, I'm just trying to get him to go. And, but they've developed and worked at their games. And, both of them yesterday, day off, they were both in here. A lot of guys were in, so that's a good thing.